Hey everyone, welcome back to Driple Studios. Today I will continue explaining how my pet system works. If you haven't seen my pet system tutorial, please check it out using the link in the description. Today we'll look into how the eggs are purchased. So each billboard GUI in the egg billboards folder has a GUI handler. These are almost the same script, with the only difference being the variable egg type, just here. This is set to the name of the egg in the pet module we are hatching from. For example, this one says basic egg. If I open up the pet module, we've got basic egg here. We have three variables defined at the top of the script: the single egg button, the triple egg button, and the auto button. When the single egg button is clicked, or the corresponding key to purchase one egg is pressed, we call the purchaseEgg function, passing in 1 as an argument. This means we are hatching one egg. When using the keys, we check that the billboard GUI is enabled and that the stop auto button is not visible, because we don't want to be able to purchase an egg by pressing E if we aren't in the trigger area or we're auto buying eggs. The stop auto button is a variable at the top of the script, which is set to the stop auto button. We'll get onto auto purchasing in the next video. The purchaseEgg function takes the number of eggs to purchase as a parameter. Inside of the leader stats script, if we open that up, we instantiate a value named isOpenEgg inside of the player. This is a boolean which tells other scripts whether a player is currently opening an egg. We check if the player is already opening an egg at the start of the purchaseEgg function, because if they are, we need to cancel this purchase or they'll be hatching 2 eggs at the same time. If they are able to hatch the egg, then we need to get their cash and check if they have enough cash to purchase the number of eggs required. The cost variable is calculated by accessing the value of the cost key in the pet module table for the egg type we require. We get the pet module table at the top of the script by getting all the services that we need for the script and then requiring the module from replicated storage. If the player has enough cash, we check that the player has enough free slots in their inventory to hold the new pets. If the number of eggs being hatched is 3, then we check if there are 2 extra slots on top of the one we are already checking, and if there is, we fire the purchaseEgg remote event, passing in the cost times 3, and then call the hatchEgg function, passing in 3 as an argument, because we want to hatch 3 eggs. If the number of eggs being hatched is 1, then we check if there is 1 more space, and if so, we fire the purchaseEgg remote event, passing in the cost, and then we call the hatchEgg function, passing in 1 as an argument, because we want to hatch 1 egg. In our pet handler script in server script service, we get all of our remote events, and we also get the pet models from server storage, including server storage and replicated storage as services at the top. And when the purchaseEgg remote event is fired, we set the isOpening value to true inside of the player and subtract the cost of the egg from the player's cash. We do this in a server script because if we adjust a value on the client, it will only appear for that player and not for everyone else. Again, the hatchEgg function, if we head over to that, it takes the number of eggs we are hatching as a parameter, and if we're hatching 1 egg, we will display the correct egg type in the single egg folder of the egg hatching GUI. This is just a folder of viewport frames, each displaying the corresponding egg in the middle of the screen. This is what we rotate to create the egg shaking animation. The 0.2 is just the time the egg stays still before it starts shaking. Next, we call the shakeEgg function, passing in the egg frame we want to shake. The shakeEgg function has 2 parameters, egg frame and egg frames. If we're hatching 1 egg, egg frames will be nil. And if we're hatching 3 eggs, egg frame will be nil. If egg frames is nil, then we are going to shake the egg for each goal we have created in our tween. If egg frame is nil, then we want to shake each frame for each goal we have created in our tween. Once the shakeEgg function is complete, we call the openEgg function, passing in the egg frame. Again, the openEgg function has 2 parameters, egg frame and egg frames. If we're hatching 1 egg, egg frames will be nil. If we're hatching 3 eggs, egg frame will be nil. If egg frames is nil, then we open a single egg by calling a local function named openSingleEgg. We pass in single as a type as well as the egg frame. The openSingleEgg function is a local function and it has two parameters, frame and underscore type. This is where the RNG happens. We get a random number between 1 and the max rarity of the egg in the pet module script. Please see my explanation of the pet module for a further explanation on the max rarity. Next, we loop through each pet table in the egg type of the pet module, and if we're looking at the first pet in the table, there is no previous pet. So we check if the random number we have generated is less than or equal to the rarity of the first pet. If the pet we are looking at is the last pet in the table, and there is no next pet, so we check if the random number we have generated is greater than the rarity of the last pet. If we are looking at any other pet, we check if the random number we have generated is greater than the rarity of the previous pet and less than the rarity of the next pet. We call the rewardPet function, passing in the corresponding pet table, the frame and the type. We hide the egg frame so that it's no longer visible, and then we get the corresponding hatched folder, the single egg or the triple egg, under the hatched GUI here, single egg, triple egg, and this just displays what pets we've opened. And then we will fire the hatchEgg remote event, passing in the pet table, the pet inventory template, the pet frame, the egg type, and the hatched folder. The pet inventory template and the pet frame are variables we get at the top of the script. If I head up here, we get all of our GUI variables up here. In our pet handler script, when the hatchEgg remote event is fired, we find the corresponding pet model to the name of the pet in server storage and clone it, placing it inside the hatched folder viewport frame or frames. Then we add the pet to the inventory by cloning the pet inventory template inside replicated storage. We clone the pet model and place this inside the GUI and update the name. The GUI is then placed inside the pet frame. Next, we add the pet to the pets folder inside the player by creating a new string value inside the pets folder in the player, which we create in the leader stat script, just here. And we set the name to the name of the pet and the value to the rarity of egg the player hatched the pet from. We then destroy the pet and set the opening value back to false as we've finished opening the egg. After we've rewarded the pet, back in the openEgg function, we update the text of the inventory. Finally, if the triple button is clicked or the relevant key is pressed, then we call the tripleGamepass function, which just checks that the player has the tripleGamepass. If not, it prompts them to buy it, and if they do own it, then it will purchase 3 eggs. That's the explanation of purchasing the eggs. Hopefully it makes a bit more sense now. I know it's just words, so it's quite hard to interpret, but if you go along with me and follow the code as well, hopefully you can make a bit more sense out of it. Next, I'll cover the auto purchasing feature, so thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please leave a like and subscribe as it would really help us out, and feel free to check out our Discord server. The link is in the description, where we're trying to build a community of future game developers. You can ask for programming help there, help others, or share your projects and chat there. More information can be found in the description. Thank you and goodbye.